Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Brian Easy, just coming back to you guys today with a long-awaited graphics overclocking tutorial, okay? And the reason why I haven't done this, guys, for a long time is because of the fact that I don't really need to with my new Kepler GTX 670, okay? So let me just first say that these graphics cards are amazing, okay? Nvidia have already introduced their automatic boost clocks, which basically allow you to they automatically overclock the graphics card for you when it needs it, and it's going to keep temperatures pretty low. It's going to keep things really well. It's a really good system, guys. But anyway, guys, I'm going to do this whole overclock tutorial for you guys today, and I'm going to explain why I do what I do and things to look out for, okay? And let me first say, guys, overclocking a graphics card is a lot more sensitive, and there's a lot more things to look out for as opposed to overclocking a CPU, okay? So with a GPU, you've got video RAM on board, you've got a GPU, you've got capacitors, you've got all these things that are getting cooled with one big block, okay? And it's, a lot more things can go wrong on a graphics card as opposed to a CPU, which you just got one CPU, it's got its thermal throttling sensor built in, so when it hits that throttle sensor, it's going to shut off safety. Bam, pretty easy, simple. GPU, it's only got two sensors, I think, on board, so if something goes wrong on a little bit of the card and blows up, bang, you've lost, what, $300 or $400, whatever you paid for your graphics card. So anyway, guys, let's get into the tutorial. Two programs. I'm going to make this as simple as possible, and I'll try and make it as quick as possible, but it's a very hard, it's a very long topic, and I want you guys to watch the whole video. So MSI Afterburner and MSI Combustor, okay? These are the two programs you're going to want. I'm going to put them in the download description below, so you can just click them, download them, and they will work with any graphics card, guys. So MSI, yes, MSI do make graphics cards, guys, but this program will work with any brand of graphics card. I'm on a Galaxy GTX 670, okay, guys? This program works fine with my graphics card, okay? No problems at all. Now, first thing you want to do is you're going to get these two programs. You're going to want to download the latest driver version for your graphics card. You will also want to run your graphics card in for a good 2 weeks without changing any settings at all, okay? So, and first off, before I start overclocking, guys, let me just show you why I haven't had the need to really overclock my GTX 670, okay? So that's all the settings are normal. Let's just run a test here. So we're going to put the settings on HD, 720 HD with any analyzing off. And basically this is going to stress my GPU, okay? So let's put it on the Furry and Tessie test, okay? Furry and Tessie test, 720p. This is going to stress my GPU, okay? Not my memory clock. It's going to stress my core clock, okay? And let's run this test. And let me show you why I love the new Kepler, okay? Let's just show you why, okay? Bang, look at this, 1123, okay? This thing is overclocking my graphics card. The normal clock, the factory overclock, the factory clock and the factory overclock is like 900 and 980, okay? So this thing is going a good 15% over, or a good 20% over the factory clock, okay? And now I've got my Galaxy card, admittedly, it's got an aftermarket cooling solution, which is really good. It's really quiet. You cannot even hear it now. And also, it's got a really high overclock. It's a really good overclock. I'm really happy with this, okay? But anyway, let's go. Let's get on with the guide, guys. So let's move on. So then, first thing you're going to want to do, guys, is you want to test your graphics card. You're going to want to see what the base overclock is, okay? So now I know my base overclock is about 1123, okay? So it seems to be hopping between 1110 and 1123, and the reason for this is because it's reaching the max TDP here, okay, which is the thermal power design, and basically that's the 170 watts for my graphics card. Every graphics card is different. It's going to have a different TDP power level. Mine is 170 watts, okay? So basically what this means is it's reaching 170 watts. It's burning all the power, and that's why it's going from 1123 back down to 1110. Now, the first thing is you're going to want to run that. You're going to want to find out what speed. You're going to want to find out if it's hitting that TDP. And then you're going to want to find the temperatures. Now, with a graphics card, guys, you probably don't want to go over 80, okay? Do not go over 80 degrees. I just don't like going over it. And the reason being is because you have memory on board, okay? And if we look at memory, guys, and in the past, what fails? A CPU or RAM? I've had RAM, okay, fail on me 2 times now. And I haven't even overclocked it. I've had friends with faulty RAM. I've never had a faulty CPU. So the same principles apply to a graphics card, guys. Memory on a graphics card will fail before a GPU fails, okay, on the graphics card, okay? So now this is important, and it's extremely important to watch out with this memory clock overclock as opposed to the core clock, okay? And now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to say save power limit and insert your card name here, okay? So let's go to Google. Let's find out what other people are setting their power limits to. And if you have a 7950, for example, you type in 7950. What are people doing, okay? And 20%, okay? So people are doing 20%. That seems to be a safe power limit for an ATI 7950. Let's have a look what people are doing for a GTX 670, okay? And I'm, 122%, a little bit too high for me. 114, 115% seems to be about what I like to do for my card. So let's put that in. 115. Now, this is the first thing we're going to do. We're going to raise this up to about 115, okay, guys? And we're going to apply. And now, as with all my overclocking tutorials, guys, I usually recommend safe settings. And of course, they're nothing's safe in the overclocking world, but generally I recommend lower kind of overclocks as opposed to extreme overclocks. And this is because, you guys, if you're watching this, you're obviously beginners, and I don't want you destroying your hardware. If you're a beginner, guys, stay low with your overclocks. Learn the whole thing, learn the whole game before you start going for extreme overclocks. There are so many people out there who are blowing up graphics cards, blowing up CPUs because they just got into it and they're like, yeah, man, I'm gonna drop, let's just max settings, bang, and blow the friggin' thing to kingdom come. And that's exactly what happens to some people, and they lose $400 investment. So anyway, guys, 115, that's for me. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna apply that. Now, the second thing we're going to do, okay, and this is what we're going to do. Fan speed. We're going to whack that up. And you guys can do max. I'm going to go 70, okay? So you want your fans running. And now listen, okay? Just have a listen. Can you guys hear that? That's a noisy fan, okay? So this is another reason why I haven't overclocked my Kepler, because, you're going to have noisy fans in the background, guys. And this is a big reason for me. I hate playing games and have this, there's a jet engine in the background, okay? Now we're going to save that, okay? Save that to 1, okay? So this is going to be our overclock profile. First thing you want to do is raise the power limit, and you're going to raise the fans, okay? And the reason why we're raising the fans, guys, is because if we leave it on auto, the graphics card may spike, and then the fans kick in, and at that time it can cause damage, okay? So the auto setting, this can cause damage, as there's a little bit of lag there, okay? So we're going to want to leave that 7. You want to keep our graphics card cool. And then we're going to start our overclocks, okay? Now, first things first, guys. I've already tested my graphics card, okay? And I'm going to tell you now it can go up to about 140. And then it starts to artifact, okay? But let's, for all purposes intent, you may want to start off with 50 or 100, okay? 100 should be... almost every graphics card should be able to attain a reasonable 100 hertz overclock on the core, okay? So let's apply that. And now, as we got our settings here before, this is a nice GPU intensive test. This one we're running right here. And now let's watch this, okay? So bang, we're already hitting that 115% TPD, thermal power design. Sorry, I said TDP before, dumbass. But yeah, it's already hitting the TPD. So that means I don't want to take my card any higher. I'm not comfortable running my $400 graphics card any higher, okay? And the reason being is because, yeah, I'm just not comfortable. I don't want to, if something fails, guys, and if you've had hardware fail on you, you'll know how much of a pain in the ass it is to replace hardware and that downtime and all that stuff. So yeah, be very careful with overclocking. But here we go, guys. GPU temperature is climbing slowly, which is a good thing. It's a really good thing. It means it's obviously, if it was up to 70 degrees already and it was climbing, it'd be pretty harsh, okay? Now, we're up to 12, so here we are. We're up to 100 megahertz, about 100 megahertz over our clock that we had before. Okay, so even though we're at 1123 before, we were actually limited by the TPD, okay? So the TPD was limiting our overclock before. And I believe it's still kind of limiting our overclock now, okay? But anyway, guys, that's what we're getting now. We're getting 1224, and it's pretty good overclock, okay? Now we can push it higher if we want to, okay? But what I want to do quickly now is, since that was 120 megahertz over what we were getting before, I kind of want to go back now and test how much we're going to run off stock, okay, at 115% TPD. I want to see how much my graphics card is going to go to, okay? Now, if we run this on stock factory settings, guys, look at what we're getting. The graphics card's saying, this is Nvidia's technology, and this is how good it is, guys. It's saying, all right, we're going to give you a nice 1175 overclock without you touching a thing, except just saying, except raising the TPD. And this is a really good, solid level for your graphics card, okay? So if you guys don't want to touch anything other than one setting or two settings, maybe just raise the fan speed and raise the power limit. If you're on a GTX 670, 660 Ti, or if you're on a GTX 680, just hit those two settings and NVIDIA will do the rest for you. So that's if you're really basic and you don't want to risk sort of stuffing up your graphics card. But as you can see here, it's a healthy overclock, and we're only really getting another, what, 60, 70 megahertz over what we were getting before. So now what we want to do is we want to say, okay, well, we're at 62. We're going to say 80. And this is going to be, this core clock, guys, is going to be related to the power limit, okay? And I'm not, and you're probably wondering, oh, well, you haven't touched core voltage yet. Core voltage is for people who want to go bang or raise it higher than that, and then they're getting instability problems. Core voltage may fix stability problems, okay? And for beginners, guys, we're not even going to touch this, okay? But if you want to, you can enable it with these two settings in settings. So click on settings, check these two boxes. You can then enable this and you can change the core voltage. But guys, if you're beginners and you're watching this, please do not even bother touching your core voltage, okay? It is probably one of the quickest ways to destroy a graphics card. And as it's a millivolts to it, it's sensitive, okay? So don't, you know, if you guys are learning and you want to go higher, then yeah, please by all means do your research and go higher. But for you guys, I'm going to teach you a safe overclock. 115%. Let's raise that back up to 70 now. So we're going to raise this to 80 now. And we're going to find out what our card is comfortable doing. So there we go, guys. We're still at the same level. So even though we had 100 in there before, we had 100 megahertz in there before, we've gone up to 83, and we're still getting the same level. So the TPD is what's limiting our overclock, okay? And I don't, you know, I'm not comfortable really pushing my card any higher than that. I did manage to push it before to 150, 140, but all right, we'll try that. Let's just give it a go. So yeah, as you can see here, we're up to 1280, and that's our max, okay? So at this TPD, this is our max, okay? 1280 is what we're maxing out on, okay? So, you know, this test, obviously this test tests memory as well. So I'm sure if we did another test, we may be able to go higher, but, you know, for games, this is going to give you a realistic level of what your core is running at, okay? So basically my max is 1280, okay? I'm happy with that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick with that. Obviously, I can go higher if I put up more power, but guys, I don't want to risk destroying my graphics card, okay? So there we go, 1280, guys. Let's be happy with that. So we just leave that at 100. And now we've found the core clock, okay? That's our core clock overclock, okay? That's what we're happy with going with, okay? So I'm happy rolling with that day in, day out for 24/7 overclock. I'm happy with that setting. Now, the next thing, guys, the next one is we're going to go to the memory overclock, okay? So this one, guys, this one here, and I want to say to you guys, this here is, be very, very, very careful with memory clock, okay? It is the main reason, in my opinion, why graphics cards break, okay? And why they just, you know, why they brick is because memory clock, okay? Memory is a lot more prone to failure than a core, okay? A CPU or a GPU, okay? A memory clock is way more prone, and it's one of the reasons why a lot of graphics cards stuff up, especially in the past, because the RAM wasn't cooled sufficiently, and bang, your graphics card just fried. Or on a real hot day, even people with normal graphics cards, they haven't even overclocked, they were getting fried, like not fried, but their graphics card were having problems. And it's because of memory. The memory wasn't cooled. But nowadays, the memory tends to be cooled pretty effectively. And so, yeah, let's straight away, you know, find out what people are doing on the internet, guys, for your particular card. But for me, a lot of people were going for 500 megahertz overclocks on the RAM. Now, to me, that is just, it's too much. I don't like overclocking my RAM that much. Let's start off first with, say, a 300 megahertz overclock, okay? That is a 10% overclock on our memory on board. Now, since my card is not an MSI card, I don't have the feature for shader clock. But if you have an MSI GTX 670, you will get another feature, which is shader clock memory. And basically these two settings, you can tweak them, but for this purposes of beginners, guys, just play with memory clock and be happy, okay? So now, that being said, guys, we're going to want to do a special test, okay? So when we get the memory clock here, we're going to clock this back down to 0 because we're testing memory this time. And we're going to go to settings, guys, and we're going to say, let's whack this up to 4 MSA and 1080p. Okay, so this time we're going to want to go higher reses. We're going to put on the anti-stropic filter, you know, the MSAA settings. And this time, guys, we're going to do a direct 3D 11, so DirectX 11, and leave it on Taurus. So these settings here, guys, this will stress your, hey, put that back on. This is going to stress, it depends, guys. If you don't play MSA 4, by all means put it on 2. I tend to play my games on 2 or 4 depending on the frame rates. So I'm going to, for this test, let's just do 10. And sorry, before we run this test, let's just run it back down on 0, okay? So let's leave this on 0 and 0. So now this will be a hey, get back to 0. This will be a GPU test this time, okay? So this is going to, this is going to be a memory test. So let's get that on DirectX in GPU burn-in, Direct 3D 11, Taurus, settings 1080p, 4 MSAA. Let's go, guys. Bang. Let's see what, now let's exactly see what's going on here. TPD is not, so it's not even reaching max, which means our memory is starting to get a chug, okay? This memory is like, oh my God, I'm getting hurt here. This is hurting me. What are you doing to me, Brian? You're chugging me, man. So the memory is now, my GPU memory, guys, is now maxed, okay? And it's starting to chug. So the GPU is actually fine, even though it says 99%. I don't know why. The actual memory is starting to chug, okay? And now, so we're finding we're getting average of 23 frames here, guys, okay? And our GPU temperature is kind of climbing, but it's not climbing that much, but the memory is getting stressed. Trust me. Now, let's close that down. Okay, so we're going to exit that. 23, okay? Note that 23 there. We're going to drop this up. So we're going to raise this up 300, okay? Whee! Okay, we're going to apply that. Let's go. We're going to save that. Sorry, I should have saved it before. As you do all little increments, you should save it. And then, after you get the stable, you should save it. And then do your next one and save it. I did it just a little bit wrong then. But anyway, let's go, guys. Let's practice this. We got 300 megahertz this time. And you're going to notice a difference, okay? You're probably going to notice a increase. So we've increased the shader, or we've increased the memory clocks 10%, guys. So we've increased our memory clocks 10%. And look at this, guys. We're getting pretty much a 10% increase in our frames, believe it or not. So yeah, this memory clock is working effectively. And I recommend if you're playing at 1080p or higher reses, guys, and you love your MSAA, if you love turning that on, then yeah, you may wish to overclock your memory. But be very, very, very careful with your overclock on the memory, guys. It is extremely fragile. Memory is what is going to make, pretty much generally, memory is what's going to make your graphics card, it's going to kill your graphics card, basically. As you can see, it's GPU temp. It's only 52 degrees, but I guarantee you the memory is getting hot as it's getting stressed. And we can see that with the average frames, okay? So tread really lightly with memory tests, guys. Personally, for me, I'm not going to overclock any higher than 300, okay? I don't recommend you guys going any more than a 10% overclock on the memory, okay? Of course, you can go higher, but over time, guys, fan speeds are going to get, your fans are going to get weaker on your graphics cards. Your, obviously memory, if it gets hot, on, especially in summer, so be careful. But, memory is going to be the one that's prone to failure, not your GPU as much, okay? So anyway, guys, let's just say, look, this is doing pretty well. Let's say, okay, let's go up to 400. Now, some people are getting 500. That's okay, but guys, in the long run, I don't recommend going to 500 or even 400. I'd stay at 300, but let's go to 400, and we'll see. Obviously, hopefully it should go up to 26, 27, the average frames. So obviously, we're increasing the memory clocks, and we're getting results. Okay, we're getting real results here. So there we have it, guys. That is your memory overclocked now. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to now go back to our settings, And we're going to say, okay, well, we got a 300 megahertz overclock on the memory. It was pretty stable. It was nice. And we got a 100 megahertz on the core clock, okay? And now this time, guys, of course, back onto the memory clock. If you're up to 500 and you're artifacting, then drop it back down a little bit, okay? But for beginners, guys, I don't recommend running your graphics card below artifact, okay? I just don't recommend it, okay? Basically, it's like your kid's on the racetrack. I'll go back to the racetrack example. Your kid's on the racetrack, he's got asthma, and if your card's artifacting, you're pushing your kid and you're saying, look, your 6-year-old son's got asthma. You're saying, look, keep running, man. And he's got asthma. Would you do that to your son? No, you'd say, stop, man, have a break. And so with your graphics card, if it's artifacting, it's struggling, guys. Are you going to keep pushing your graphics card or keep it just below that level where you're pushing your graphics card? Are you going to do that? I'm not going to do that because I know in time something's probably going to go wrong. And since I like to have my hardware for 2 to 3 years, I don't recommend you doing it. So anyway, guys, if you want to, though, go up to 500 megahertz and then work from there if you're on a GTX 670. If you're on another card, go into Google, see what other people are doing, getting with their cards, see what the safe levels for your card is to start at, and then go with that, okay? But for me, I'm happy with I'm happy with 10%, man. That's fine. I want my card to run day in, day out, especially since it's holidays. I play games a lot on my holidays, and I want to keep a safe overclock. So here we go. Let's apply this. This is the final test. Now, how are we going to do the final blend test, okay? The final test, guys, is we're going to go to here. We're going to drop it down to, say, 2. Obviously, you can do the Furry and Terry test. This is it's a good test, okay? It stresses everything, okay? And now, hopefully, this time, guys, we should get the best frame rates that we've ever got. So hopefully, sorry, we got 2 MSI. I didn't really test it with MSI off, but this is our final overclock, guys. And we're gonna get a nice average frame rate here. I'm getting 41, and we're gonna test that now as opposed to having no overclock at all, and we're gonna see which is better, okay? So anyway, here we go. We got our memory going to 3,300. We got our core at 1267. Nice overclock, guys. Nice safe overclock. Some people aren't going to be able to obtain the overclock that I can get. Some people are going to go a lot higher. It just depends. It's the luck of the draw with graphics cards, just as it is with CPUs. Some CPUs can go higher, some can't. And, this is my overclock, guys, and I'm happy with it, okay? This is my nice gaming overclock. I probably will tune it down even a little bit less because I don't like having the fans so loud in the background. But yeah, if you don't mind fan noise, guys, by all means, copy my settings if you have a GTX 670. Please ask me any questions if you want, guys. But yeah, that's about it. So let's have a look, guys. 41 there. GPU temps are pretty cool. It's running nicely. Let's clock it down and see what let's see our overall increase in performance here, okay? As opposed to a reset. Let's just reset the whole thing. So we're getting 41 on that test. Let's just reset. Okay, so sorry. We'll actually save our profile before we do that. Okay, there we go. Let's save that. Save as 1. So that's our overclock. We're going to save that. Sorry, I already did save it. And then we're going to go back to default, which is 2. So we're back to stock settings, guys. Everything's normal. Let's run our same test, Furry and Tessie tests. And this time we're going to see how much of a general increase we got out of our card, okay? What kind of performance gains we got out of just raising that TPD 15%, okay? And that's what I'm saying. It's the most important thing is raising the TPD because that's the limit of how much power your card's actually using. And just like a car engine, the more fuel that's going into the car, the more power it's going to produce. And this is exactly what's happening with the graphics card. The more power is going into the graphics card, the more power is coming out to your screen. So let's have a look here. 37, okay? That's about what we're plateauing at. 37 as opposed to 41. You do the maths. That's over a 10%. That's what's almost pretty much, it's pretty much exactly a 10% overclock. So basically, guys, we got a nice 10% overclock today, and it was safe it's pretty safe, okay? It's not going to burn your graphics card out. Admittedly, the fan noise is annoying for me, so I'm probably, for all in all, guys, I'm most likely just going to keep my graphics card at the normal settings, maybe I'll just increase the TPD up to 110%. And you know, guys, that's that. And that's why I haven't done this overclocking tutorial for a long time, is because I've been really happy with my GTX 670, and Nvidia have done a phenomenal thing with the Kepler series. They've increased the power efficiency, they've increased the frames or the power a massive amount, and it just runs so smoothly. Every game that I put through this thing, no problems at all, guys. So, you know, you guys have, obviously I'm not a Nvidia fanboy, I love AMD too, whatever's better value for money, but I'm just saying this is a really good card. And guys, yeah, watch this, okay? You don't want to go over 80 degrees, okay? On any graphics card, I don't recommend going over 80 degrees. It's sort of a level that things can go wrong, okay? So watch your graphics cards, guys, and be sure to watch the temperatures, okay? So as you can see, it's sort of fighting 79, 80, it's fighting itself. And also the graphics has onboard fan control auto, which once it gets to 80 degrees, the fans spin up faster and cool it down better. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this graphics overclocking tutorial today. If you have any questions at all, please, or if you've got important questions, guys, please send me a PM, personal message, if you've got things that really need to be addressed quickly. If you want to know just little things, please leave a comment in the comment section below. And of course, guys, if this beginner's guide helped you out today, guys, please subscribe and thumbs up this video, as it takes me time to do all the video and sort of get it all ready for you guys. And if you have anything else you want to know, please let me know. Anyway, guys, peace out for now. Brian Easy, bye.